Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to another video. Today I'm so excited because I'm sharing a bunch of techniques you can use using the Nuvo watercolor shimmer powders. These are so much fun and you can get such a variety of different looks using them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now I know there are lots of watercolor powders on the market, but in today's video I'm going to use the Nuvo watercolor shimmer powders. I like these because they're the powder as well as a little bit of shimmer in there, which is really beautiful, but you could use any watercolor powder you want for this. So I'm going to start off for the first card with the Jewel Heist background stamp, and I'm going to be doing some heat embossing to create a fun resist with these powders. So I'm going in and inking up the Jewel Heist background stamp with a little clear sticky ink, and then I will flip over my piece of cardstock onto it and give it good pressure to make sure that image transfers all over. After that's complete, I'm going to sprinkle on some clear or white heat embossing powder. It doesn't really matter for this since it's on white cardstock. And then I'm going to heat set that until it's nice and shiny, and that's going to create the beautiful resisted background. Now when it comes to adding powders onto the surface, a little bit goes a long way with these powders. I don't squeeze the bottles or anything like that. I uncap it, kind of hold it upright, and then tap the bottom of it lightly. And that's going to give you a little bit of powder here and there, and that's going to go a long way because these are very pigmented. So for this background, I just added a little bit of red, pink, blue, and yellow, and kind of made sure that where the colors were touching, they're gonna blend to create new colors in between. Then I'm gonna go in and start spraying this down with water, and you can see when you first start spraying it, some of that powder is still showing, and you could totally leave it like that. That creates a really cool look. But for this background, I'm going to continue adding water to really blend these together and make it look like a watercolor background. And sometimes random watercolor backgrounds are difficult to do, so this one's just super easy because all you have to do is spray it and it creates this random background for you. Now when it comes to any dark areas that you may not like how they look, I'm going to go in with just the corner of a paper towel and just sop any of those super dark areas up, and that will get rid of those and kind of lighten them to bring some color back into it. And then I'm just going in with my Ranger Heat It tool. Now this is kind of a more dispersed heat tool, so it's not going to heat up that embossing powder as fast, but it's just a great heat tool for drying these inks and not moving them around too much. And then I took some of the excess and kind of dipped it into some cardstock, and that creates a cool start for a background, and you could definitely die cut that too. But look at this background once it's all complete. I just love those colors and how it reacts with that heat embossing to create cool little cavities and pockets of that color. Now I'm going to go in with the Doodle Florals stamp set and use this thank you for your kindness sentiment and heat emboss that with white embossing powder onto a piece of black cardstock. And I just love how bold and graphic this card is, the geometric background and beautiful watercolor shimmer. So then I'm going in for the next card with the Flower Picking Friend stamp set from Simon Hurley Create. And I'm going to use that lily big flower there, and I'm just stamping this down in some jet black archival ink onto some stark white cardstock. And I'm just going to give it some good pressure. I've been using my Misty lately just in case if I need to stamp it again. Now with jet black archival ink, I like it because it stays wet a little bit longer, so I can go over top with some clear heat embossing powder. And this step's really important. You want to make sure that you heat emboss to kind of create another cavity where you can hold in water on there and not have any color move outside. So I'll heat set that until it's nice and shiny, and then we're going to go in and start off my technique. Now for this, I'm going to start off by painting kind of puddles of just regular clear water onto my image here. Anywhere where I want there to be color, I'm going to paint kind of a puddle of water there. So on this top part of the lily, I'm making sure there's lots of water. You can see as I tilt it there, it's nice and shiny. And then I'm going to go in with the watercolor powders. And don't worry about any powder that goes outside of the flower right now. If it's not wet, it's not going to take the color in. So then I'm adding a little bit of yellow in the center and some pink on the outside. And here you can already see it's reacting a little bit and bleeding with that water. But to blend the color together more, I'm taking a little bit more water on my brush and just tapping it onto the surface. You barely need to really blend these together because the water that's on the surface and the water that you add will kind of react together and push around some of that color, which is really fun. It creates this effortless kind of tie-dye coloring effect, and any time that you would usually take to really blend watercolor together is kind of minimized with this because the water really helps it blend. And if I want extra spots of color that are a little bit darker and more powdery, I can add a little bit more at the end. Now I'm making sure this is completely dry, and once it is, I can remove any excess powder. So I blew off any excess dust, and then I'm going to take kind of a brush and just wipe off any excess color or mica that's outside of the edges, and that's going to be removed as long as it didn't get wet anytime during that process. So then I can remove that color and move on to the leaves here. Now for this one I'm going to show you, you can just add watercolor powders down and then we can blend them out with water. Now if I don't add water onto the surface, it's not going to blend as easy and you're going to have to do a little bit more work, and it'll also kind of remove the look of the powders in there. It just depends on what kind of look you want, but here I'm just going in with water after the fact and really blending that color together. And it creates this really cool watercolor effect. And I love how when you kind of go over different colors, it creates a completely unique look without really any effort of you blending the color together. And I even added a little bit of extra yellow powder in there for some extra spots of bright color. Then I'm going to wipe off that too, and I just love how this flower looks. That shimmer and watercolor powder looks beautiful together. Now to create a background for this, I'm going in with the loose stencil because you can totally use these powders with your stencils as well. I'm adding any blue powder down where I want it kind of more concentrated in the center, and that's going to create a really great background for my flower. I'll go in here and start spraying it down, and like I said, the more you spray, the more it's going to spread out. But here I wanted a little bit more of a look of powder, so I only sprayed it a few times, and you can still see some of those beautiful solid areas of powder on there. Then I'll add that flower down in that concentrated area of blue color there with some foam tape, and add a sentiment from the Flower Picking Friend stamp set, and I just love how this card turned out. The free-flowingness of the powdered watercolor looks so beautiful, and I just love that shine too. Now next I'm going in and just creating a really simple watercolor background with these powders. Again, it's a really effortless process, but I taped down my piece of watercolor cardstock because I didn't want it to lift or curl as I was working. I'm going in with a little bit of green powder, blue powder, and some purple powder in the corner, and I think I accidentally added a little bit of yellow in here too, but it blended nicely in the end. Now I'm going to go in with my water bottle and just start spraying this down. And again, I could leave it as it was, but I wanted to kind of have the colors blend a little bit more together, so I sprayed and added a little bit more water in there. That's the cool part about these powders, is you really have lots of different looks you can get depending on how much you spray them down. And once I dried that, I just love the look of the background, but I'm going to cut out my favorite part of it with a Lawn Fawn stitched square die. And then I'm going in with the Bird Buddy stamp set, and I'm going to use images from this set to finish it all off. I temporarily added the square down onto a card base here, and I'm going to stamp the swing that comes in this Bird Buddy stamp set. And then I'll lift off the square and add it onto some foam tape, but I just love how that continues off of the colored panel. Now after I've done that, I'm going to show you another way of coloring. You can add these powders down onto a craft sheet and then go in and do some watercoloring by just lifting up that color with a water brush. Now I like the look of this because it gives that fun shimmer inside of that watercolor too, and it's another way to kind of match the colors to your project if you used the powders in a background. So I think this is just another fun way to use them and add a little bit of coloring into your projects and more detailed images. So here I added that little guy onto the swing and added this fun sentiment from the Bird Buddy stamp set, and I just love how simple and fun this card is. Now for the last card here, this one I was just having fun, but I actually love how it turned out. So I literally went in with almost every color of the powders. I think I skipped out on the greens, but I added lots of powder in there. And then I'm going to go in and do a little bit more of a controlled watercolor background. I'm going in with a thicker paintbrush here, and I'm just going to go in and create stripes down the background. And as I do this, it'll pick up on the different kind of watercolor powders that are in there and create a different color stripe and give some really cool variation each time. Now I'm not going over it too many times, you can see here. I just kind of swiped it once or twice as to not move the color and blend it together too much, because I want streaks of different colors in each one. I thought it looked so cool, and it's a look you really can't get with watercolor since all the different powders create these unique colors. So once I'm done drying it all off, I'll wipe off any excess powder. I'm going to cut this down, and then I'm using the Gina K Designs Natural Silhouette stamp set. And this is from a kit, and she'll restock it soon, and I'll come out with a video once it's restocked. But if you have it, you can use it, or use another solid silhouette image. But I just love this solid silhouette of flowers there. I'm going to stamp that down several times with some jet black archival ink to make sure it's nice and dark. So I'm using my Misty stamping tool to make sure I can stamp it more than once. And then I'll lift this off, and to give it a little bit of shine and make it stand out, I'm going to go in with some clear embossing powder, and again, the jet black archival ink stays wet a little bit longer so you can heat emboss over top of it just like this. Then I'll use the Thinking of You stamp set from that same stamp set, and I'm going to stamp that down onto one of the stripes, and again clear heat emboss it to match the other black image that I stamped. I just love how simple this card turned out. It was kind of an afterthought, but honestly, I just love how it turned out. It might be one of my favorites, just with the different variations of watercolor you get with the different color powders. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click the little bell icon next to it to make sure you never miss another card making video like this one from me. I also love to hear from you guys, so let me know down below in the comments which card from today's video was your favorite, and I would love to chat with you all down there. Alright guys, I'll see you very soon for another card making and crafting video. Have a great day. Bye!